Trust me, it is not easy to update this chart on a 15 minutes time basis and all of that. I told us on the I said, be ready for structural manipulation, which can happen anytime. Before I stopped this recording, I told us that this is the first reaction that the buyers forced up, and that is A. And this second stage, it's B, that we expect it to terminate maybe between what we regard as zigzag correction, which will be a 60 or a 50 or a 76 or 85. And if it gets to 90, then you are thinking about a regular flat. And if it pulls beyond that, you are thinking of either a running flat or an extended flat. And I told us the limit down as 95, 94, 575, and I said I gave us a stop loss at first at 94, 400 because you have to make that allowance. You are not going to see what they're going to do in the middle, but the higher time frame kind of give you an idea of what may be. And if you want to run on higher time frame alone, you will be missing entries. Whatever changes that they are doing in the middle, you will not see it. And in any correction, if it's only a zigzag correction, be it on any time frame, the first wave will be 5. But if it's a flat correction, the first wave, of course, we said it's going to be 335. It's going to be 335. That is what you should expect in that kind of a situation. But since they did this wave in a very small wave, and like I said, it's a 3-wave. You can see this is the first wave, 1 and a 2 and a 3. Now, what they did in the middle is another thing entirely. If you're going to scale this one down to what they have actually done in the middle of this one. But we know that this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and this is wave 3. And of course, it is always good to think that this is just a major A, and I'm going to see a B. You anticipate. But then, if your anticipation does not work out, then you now begin to suspect what are they trying to do. So this is the internal structure here, a 3-wave here, and this is supposed to be also a 3-wave structure. But the B that's supposed to be a 3-wave structure, if you are thinking of a flat, it could actually be like from here to here is A, and here is another wave, and here is the last wave. Now, this structure gave me a WXY structure at the end of the day, because I will tell you R is a WXY structure. You can also have called it an A B, and a C structure to this side. You can call it an A and a B or a C structure to this side. But, you know, when I was looking at it, I see more of a WXY structure, whereby this structure also formed a wave in themselves right from the top here down to this level, has formed a wave, and this is a new wave, and this is a new wave which landed here. The way this one came down and the way this one went up sort of give me an idea of where this one should run to. And when I was looking at it, I began to suspect that we might not run deep down. In case we don't run deep down, what are they likely to do? Because this final leg is going to tell us what exactly it's going to do. Because I was still expecting this final leg anyway, because I expected A, B, and a C format. But the final leg, of course, we are going to begin to see to the inside of the final leg to see what do I really expect normally of this internal leg of the final leg. And I will break it down to you to where we are for you to really understand what they have been doing. Okay, so now looking at this structure, you might see this one. This one is also a 5-wave structure. This one is a 5-wave structure. This is not part of it. The tip here is not part of it. You must get everything right, because after this internal correction here, the price moved up, and from here, price came down to land here. The new move is from here to this one, so which is A. If you push this one up here, the trend, I mean, the resistance on top of this wick is wrong. So it's here. This is the new move, and also another move ended here, and which is the beginning of another move to this side. Now, before I get to where the green is, let's look at this one. So from here, I really hope, let me see if I can enlarge the structure there for you to see. Now, this one had gone up here to terminate that and as an A and a B and a C structure situation to finish this A, which is 1, 2, and 3 wave. Then immediately you end there, this one came down a wave, which is 1, 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 situation. This one actually gives me a 5 wave to the downside, which the internal of this one is an A. This did a 3 wave to the upside. If you don't look at this, this is actually within this wave, 1, 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, within that wave, in the micro fraction. And maybe let me just push in, because what you will see in all those time frames are different. You won't see 5-wave structure here clearly. Let's now break it down to, we're going to allow this one to load. It might take till eternity. Let me go inside of 5 minutes. It might take it till eternity. Interestingly, it didn't. I hope that the thing will still give us, because at some point we won't see 5 minutes again. And that's the one good thing about what I'm trying to do now, to quickly use this when we can still see the structure. By the time it's, more than probably 5 days or 4 days, you might not be able to break down the 5-minute structure again to see. Good. So this is a 5-minute structure of everything that we have said. And this is wave 1 here, and this is wave 2 here, this is wave 3 of the A. So this one went up, as a 3-wave also, which maybe on equal wave, 1, 2, and a 3, of course, in an ending format. Give an ending format here, which is a very sharp one. And in the middle, gave us a flat in the middle. And the flat is this in the middle. This is the flat in the middle. Because I said 1 and a 2 and a 3. So it gave us a flat in the middle also in the internal structure of the 5 minutes now. So the flat it gave us is like the first leg ran down, which is here, the second one, and this one also pushed down. Then it now gave us the last wave, which is a 3. This also gave us a 3 because it's a flat in the middle. Even though it's a 3 wave, on the 15 minutes, 1, 2, and a 3, but it also gave us a 3-wave, 1, 2, and a 3, which completed that one. You might not need to, bore yourself with that, but I'm just showing you. And also this one also came down in a 3-wave structure, 1 and a 2 and a 3 for a flat. Do you understand? And this one went up. This one went up. I won't call this one a zigzag per se. I won't call it a zigzag per se, because if you call it a zigzag, then you're expecting that wave A should be equal to this. But if we take our tools to see, let's see if we can get anything like that. From here to the top here, back to this area, it didn't give us that. So because 100 is, this is 60 something here, so 76 here, so it didn't give us, so it's not a zigzag that it gave us in that place. It's just a flat, which is a 3. Now, but inside of a B, of course, the B structure started from where this one ended. And this is a 1 and a 2. This micro one in 5 seconds also came down in 3 waves, in 5 waves, which you might not see. This is 1, a 2, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. But I'm not interested in that. I will be interested in, okay, let it change, because I update this like when a structure is forming and it's breaking out of a structure. How do I know? I connect, immediately you have the first correction. You connect the tip of this to this tip of this, and you drag it. And I put my alert like this. I look at it from the 1 hour time format. I don't do this on a smaller time frame, really, because not as much. So I wait until this thing is complete before I begin to look inside. So once it signals that it has crossed it, then I will now want to look into whatever that is happening. So I'll probably try to break this one down. So that a new structure is forming. Now, this new structure, I have to wait until all this, it comes down here and do here, and I try to pull this one also together to look at it. I might just be looking at between the 1 of this and a 2 of this and see how structure will be violated. And if you now look at this one, the structure was not even violated with everything that was happening here. It was not violated because the one came down in the micro chart, went up to do a 2 here, and came down to do a 3, this is 5 minutes, and came down to do a 4 and a 5 to finish wave A of that. Now, wave B of this structure, which is the new structure, which is, you can call this one a pink, bigger A, which is the pink, or golden yellow now. So this is a golden yellow now. So in the internal architecture of this one, we are trying to see, because this will tell you where everything will land in the end, where B is going to terminate, and you must follow it. And so a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 to make A, that's the 5 here. Then we now go upside, because if you really want to see, this structure here to this structure here is what this one represents. But inside of the architecture, once you know that you have done a 2 and a 1 and a 2, what you try to tell yourself is that once you are seeing this structure, and this one has come down also, this is a 1 and a 2 situation here, what you do, because you have finished a bigger 1 and a bigger 2, this idea is what you translate on a bigger time frame, even be it weekly time frame. You translate the idea. You have finished 1 here and a 2 here. Now this is supposed to now be a 3. Is it going to be a 3 or not? So it came down as a 1 and a 2. So you connect 1 and a 2 there like this. There is a 1 of a 2. You connect it like that. Once you connect that, that's a connector for the new wave. 1 has ended. In fact, if you push this one together, it will break it, then go up. So, but if you have all the time. Now, This 3 has ended here because this is a 4 and this is a new wave entirely. That tells me that it's a new wave. And the new wave that is coming, I want to see what it's going to do. Also, I don't know what it's going to give me, but it's a 3-wave situation here. This is a 1 and a 2 and a 3. So what again I do once I have that, because I don't know if it's going to run in a 5-wave. Of course, I should be expecting that it's going to run, it should run in 3 waves. Then once I have this one broken, then I know I'm in a new wave. It signaled to me a new wave had begun. So it crossed it. And I look at the extent of it, it's not even pushing high. Because it's not pushing higher, you know. This one had finished an A, and this one is a B for this one. And it's a 3-wave structure. A 1, a 2, and a 3. That has finished that wave. Then a new wave again now began. A new wave again now began. After this new wave began, I was asking myself, what are we going to get? What are we going to get? It also came down the same way, a 1 and a 2, and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. It finished here. This was where I gave us an entry. Thinking that, you know, what is going to happen is that probably B may have stalled here or not, but I was still looking at the possibility of between this and this, you know, and I was trying to plot what was going to happen. So what did they do? Because this one did an A and a B and a C. But eventually they now use this one as a W to complete A, B, and a C to give a W. And how would I know that there's a break out of here as well? I do this to come to this and this to bring it together. And a break out of that structure tells me 4, 5 has ended situation, a 1, 2, 3, 4 situation, and a 5 situation has ended, and it's a new wave. So it's a new wave. The all of these is a wave in itself. Even though we are breaking that to A, B, and a C, it's a wave in itself to give us a W. Then we are going. This is 5 minutes, please. So that's a W. Then we now start, because this should be a connector. This could also be an A and a B situation. Also be an A and a B situation. Now, this connector in between them, how has it even run on a 5 minutes chart? It ran in such a way that you don't even know anything, because it ran also in a 3-wave structure, which is A, and did a small flat here, which is like you can say is a connection. 1, 2, and a 3 flats here. So that's what it did here. 1, 2, and a very shallow flat. That's the running flat that it did in that place. A 1 and a 2, because this one pushed outside of this one. And you see the first A here, and this one pushed outside of this one and gave a lower, this is a running flat here, and ended the wave here. So is a 3-wave. The first one gave us a 5-wave structure here. It ran a 5-wave structure. And inside that 5-wave structure, it's a zigzag that it did here. So you must know that, because this is a 5-wave, and this is another 3-wave, and this is another 5-wave. So it's a zigzag structure. And this zigzag structure could have ended at least a 100 or a 123. So what they did do, you must have at the back of your mind, because even this structure has ended as a W and is a zigzag. The entire run is a zigzag, a 5, a 3, and a 5. So what did it do? Right from the top here to the end of the first one, which is here, where A is, then back to where 2 is, which is here. That is the B of it. You know, this is 123. That's perfection. This is 100. It didn't 200, it pushed below a 123. So, but because we know price may not be the exact, but it's still regarded as a 123, which is a flat, sorry, a zigzag and a bit extended by, is a 123. So with the last, which is the C leg of it, it's a bit extended outside 100, which you can expect. Okay, so it's a zigzag, and that is W. And that to the entire run with this one, which is an X, what has it done? Because it's a three-wave structure, you should expect 535 situation. 535 situation to take what it has done right from, okay, let me go. So this wave started from here down to where that 5 waves stopped here. So it gave us like approximately 876. That still tells me that it is an X of a zigzag, which still, So it did a zigzag here for this A or W. Then it could do another zigzag if this one is X. So I should be expecting a 5-way structure to the downside again. That is what I'm saying. Now let's look at that. A 5-way structure, that's a 1 and a 2 situation. It first did a 5-way for this one, a 2 of this one, like for the first one we saw, and it did to complete a 1, a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5. That is where it ended. So the entire run of WXY is also a zigzag. And inside of all of them also is also a zigzag, because after this, the 2 here, of course, like the first one I showed, also ran 3 waves of 1, 2, 3 that you expect for a flat. Then it now started with 3 here. And once it breaks out, breaks out of here, that it has broken out of with 3 situation of this inside correction here. Broke out of it to finish a 4 outside of it and finish a 5 downward. Now, the entire run, it's like a mirror. What happened here, from here to finish W, it's also what happened from the top of X to Y. It's almost a mirror, but is extended. It's extended by, because if it has been 100%, it should have probably stored around this area, but it did more, but again, it didn't push. So what was giving me an idea of what was going to happen is that if this one is a 5 and this one is a 4, then where will this one terminate? I had to put this one here, say from here to here, at least I expect the height of 4, I expect 123 and 161. And so 161 should be here. They push it a bit below 161. They push it a bit below 161 there, which means they extended the width 5 in that regard. It was extended. And you will think that something else is happening. You will think that something else is happening, because if you really want to understand that also, you'll be following this particular last wave to see how this last wave also is forming. Because once you do a 3 and a 4 situation here, you are going to start this by, okay, how is this wave that is coming down, how is it going to run? And I came down with it to a 3 of it in this area, which is a 3 of the last 5 waves here. And this is the 4th of it, to tell me that breaking it down before we enter this situation, this is a 3 and a 4 situation, and I should expect from the tip here to the end of it here, which is the 4th. Can you see the 3 and the 4 here? That's what I did, a 3 and a 4 here. 161.8 should be here, which is around 95 to 96. That was why I said at some point that we should expect it shouldn't go below 95,250 before we turn upside. And I suggested on the up that you may want to look at that and still adjust our entry that we had there, because they are doing a complex correction in the middle for B. And so everything it's mathematics, you have to look at it, and it never came to that point before price began to change direction. So now looking at that, what the price did eventually, because this also could have been a B, but now my B didn't even get to 123, talk less of didn't get to yes, 123. Talk less of 141, because a B structure can get to 161.8 if you are talking of an extended flat. But of course, you'll also be looking at the bigger picture of what it could be to your correction of, are we going to have a 4? Are we going to have a 5? So you are looking at all of that too. Because it is an A and this is a B and it's tall there. What correction did it now do from the beginning of here to the end of here? What correction did it now do? It just did like 1.1. So 1.1 does not fall in any category of my corrective wave format. It doesn't. So that is where you first suspect that, yes, manipulation has started somewhere, because they did not to even force this one below here. So, and you know, the manipulation now is that they have completed wave 4 with this 3. 1, 2, 3. They have completed that wave 4 with this A. And so that's the end of wave 4. So, and they started with 5 with this structure in the middle, which is also an A, B, C structure in a way, if you look at it, but it's wave 5. So they could have said that, okay, this is one is what? A wave 1 of 5, a 2 of 5, a 3 of 5, a 4 of 5, and a 5 of 5. So that is, let me run that for you again. You have said that this is one is a 1 of 5, and a 2 of 5, and a 3 of 5, a 4 of 5, and a 5 of 5. So looking at the structure and the way everything is forming will tell you that, okay, now, even if you are still missing that, okay, still say, okay, oh, I'm going to go by the old way of saying this is an A and a B and a C structure situation. So where do you expect your C to terminate? Your C would have gone beyond at least a 123. Because that's the maximum that it can do an extension, 123. Because if you are thinking of an extended flat, it's 123. If this one is a B and an A and a B situation, the entire of the red is an A, the blue is an B, and then it shouldn't do more than a 123. It shouldn't do more than a 123. So what I'm trying to say is that if it shouldn't do more than a 123, what we are saying is that if you shouldn't do more than a 123, we pick this, our tools of extension, we come down to the base here, we drag it to the beginning of A, which is where we have this blue, then to the end of A, where we have the pink. And 123 shouldn't go beyond this point here, this level here. Yes. And so that was why I marked this one, that 123 should not go. So from here, in between here, we should turn downwards. And this is what you need to do when you are seeing structures like this. Fine, we are turning, either way, we are going to go up. Either way, it's like we're going to go up. It's either the thing went down to that area of 94, 575 that I talked about, or it turned up anywhere. We have seen the first reaction here. So either way, we are going to go up. Either we are going to correct 4. We are going to make this one a complex 4 by A, B, C that should not go beyond here. and price should come down, because you don't know what is they are thinking in their mind. And once you get to this point, that was why I said, okay, we that are buying, let's just stop around this area. And I still had one to 97,500 and I stopped there. Now, immediately they came up here and they breached this level here, this level here. I knew they are going for bigger fall. I knew it. That they are going for bigger fall, which now tells me that, see, they have finished this structure here. The 5 had finished in here. And so this is a bigger fall that we're looking at. So they truncated 5 here with this structure. So you have to be thinking and open your minds to possibility of what the structure might be doing. So I've known that, yes, something is happening here. And even if I'm still deaf and blind, not to see what they are doing in the middle there, then this last leg is even enough to tell me what are they doing. So let me now switch inside of this, because Y had finished here, A, W, X, and Y had finished. So inside of this one structure, I was following in, every 4 hours, every 8, initially probably every 8 hours, but at some point, every 4 hours, I have to look at what are they doing, because I'll be thinking, I'll be plotting also. If it's going to be a wave 1, wave 2 situation, I'll be plotting it. And this is 5 wave, this is 5 minutes. I'll be plotting it. I'll be plotting it. So you can see my alert, all of them, they're just flying all about to tell me something, I have to check. Now, see, this is what they did here. Immediately they landed 5 here. This is where they landed 5. This is a 3 and a 4, a 3 and a 4, and they landed 5 exactly here to finish Y, exactly here. Immediately they did that, they pushed this one up, which is wave 1 here. That's wave 1, and this one has run in 5 minutes like a 5-wave structure, and this one came down as a wave 2, and wave 2 is going to be in a 3-wave format. So this is an A, B, and a C situation, and they moved up. And this is like a wave 1, an A situation, which didn't run entirely to the beginning of this wave 1, and this one pushed up here. If you want to see how it has pushed up, because let's see, between a wave 1 that started from here and where this one ended, gave me a wave 2 situation of this one, which is, this is the first wave of a 2. Now, how did this one, fare with B? From the beginning of, from the beginning of that wave 2 to the end of wave 2, of course, you have to wait 8 hours before you check again. This one has done a 123, about a 123. So if it's about a 123, it's telling me that we either get an extended flat or a running flat. But a 123 and a extended flat is more like it, because a running flat is more like a extended flat situation would have probably gone below here and invalidate the structure that is they are hooking up. So it came right here, and if you look at it, it is just an extended flat to finish. So this might not be entirely correct for your wave 2 situation. So you might have to push your wave 2 situation for this new one down here as your wave 2, because this might not be the beginning of your wave 2, and this might just be end of wave 1, because where everything terminates, this is wave 1 in theory, but in practical, you say this is where wave 1 is, which is the height. You have to consider the height of that correction of wave 2 also, which is the B of it, then back here. So in order for us to see where wave 3 is in this regard, we start from wave 1, beginning of wave 1 to beginning of wave, the end of wave 1 now, which 2 are giving us back to the pink. We must do more than 161. This is 161 situation. So this tells me that yes, we are in a wave 3 situation. But later, I realized that this wave 3 ended here. And they did a 4 to give us a 5 up here, a 4 and a 5 up here. How would I know that something has changed? Because immediately I leave 2, I start immediately with the internal structure of 3, because internal structure of 3 starts where 2 ended. Please don't forget this. Anytime you are saying anything, don't forget. So that's the internal structure. And immediately this one happens, I know that this wave has ended itself. I know that this wave, I was even thinking that we were going to do, but again, this my suspicion is this, that how would this one run to the limits of what I think for, or of what where I think we should begin to come down. This is 123 of entire big A, B, and a C. Why is it running here? I began to suspect something is going to happen here. And I was like, okay, is this a 3-5 situation here? 3-5 situation, and this one is going to run a 4. So if this one is going to run a 4, for crying out loud, see, this is what I expect to happen. If it's going to run a 4 from here, so I'm going to start from where a 2 is here. That is where a 2 is. I'm going to push it up to this, that I think 5-3 has ended, and a 4 should be here, which is at 38, and here a 50. Now, because this one ran to blow up a 50, then I know that no, it is beyond what I know. So this is not what I'm thinking again. So it's like a wave has ended, and this one is a new wave. This is a 50. How would a 4 break all of this structure? And to do, I won't even give it past a 50 just by, and this is like a 2 situation now, because it has blown, it has gone beyond a 50, because the maximum of a 4th wave is here. And the way the X ran the other time, I showed you, the way the X ran, you know, this one was like, okay, this and a truncation and a new wave entirely here, you know, crossing, and it's a new wave. Of course, I began to look for another new wave, and another new wave, I was beginning to look for it. That it is when this happens, so I know that I'm in, you know, doing another new wave. So I was plotting this gradually. We have to do that from time to time. I was plotting this gradually again. You see, when you break that, I will now read. When you break that, I will read what has happened again, what has transpired. At least that will mark the end of what you are doing now. So it broke it. So once it broke it to the upside, because I know something is not complete here, with this move, is that they break this one to the upside, or they break this one to the downside. If once they went past the limit of what a 4 is, then I know a wave cannot run like that. That if this is the middle of 4 of the 3, and this is 5 of it, they didn't give me a 4. It went past it. Then I was in between before I made a decision. Let me see what is going to happen. If they're still going to go a bit further, or they're going to break it, and they began to break it, I know something has changed. And this is what had changed. This is what has changed. This is what had changed here. They went up again, and this is not a 4, because you can see I labeled it as a 4, and I discovered that this is not a 4. This 4 is now supposed to be here of the internal structure of this one, and the 5 of it. This is still correct here. They have finished the 5 of it here for A leg. And that time that as an A leg, and this one is a B leg. So if it's a B leg, that means they're going to do probably maybe a W, an X, and Y, or an A, B, C. So if that is what they're going to do, they are going to make this with this a bridge and give me 100 of this entire run or a 123, and that should be the end of it. Because it's a complex structure again. So they are doing a three-way pullback or structure of the entire four. That is what they are doing. So the day they now break this blue here, it's, I will tell me, they are now doing 5 proper. So now, with this, they came down, they did a whole lot of mess also here, try to make this one a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 situation. At first, I was also trying to follow up and to see a zigzag in the middle, an A, a B, and a C, which is a connector. Because this could have been a connector of here, and they'll finish up this one, and they will come down. In that case, it will be as if, okay, yes, let's agree, even though it has fallen below what a 4 should give me. Let's still think and pretend it's a 4. So if it's a 4 and 100 of this one at this point, that is where they'll say, okay, they have completed the 5 now and they are coming down. They push beyond it. Even though I'd suspected that something they are trying to do is to go a bit up. Of course, you will know that the structure has changed slightly here. And for me, it's a B and a C situation or a WXY situation that this one is going to go like an 100. So let me now switch back to 15-minute time frame. Switching back to 15 minutes time frame now here. This is what we have. So which is we are within the last wave now here, and something else is happening here. Okay, switching to a 15 minutes time frame. We are going to be seeing this last structure and how everything changes in the middle. This last structure is, if this is an A and a B, where I see my red, and this one should run 123 or 100. So let's pick it. From this blue here is the end of it. Blue is the end of it here. To the blue here, which is A, and we come down to a red, which is B, around this area. So for this structure now, the 100 is going to be here. So that is what it appears that they are doing. $100 is going to be here. So you must know that $100 is going to be here. This is where we are at the moment. Okay, so 100 is going to be there, and a 123 is going to be where this red is. It's going to be where this red is. Let me just push this a bit outside of there. Oh my God, I moved that. Let me push this red up here a bit. This is where I should see price come to the downside, okay? Now, this is not on the table, it's gone. So what I'm saying is that, okay, I can even push that up. Why don't I push it up? Let me push it up. Okay, to that area, and this one goes to that area. Now, okay, so in case they try to push higher, so these 99,200 should hold the price. In case they try to push higher than 100, which is 98,500, that was why I said let's put our stop loss at what? 98,750. So, but now I would tell us on the up to go to 98, 99,200. So with that possibility, but again, I will still tell you what I do. I don't just give you all that levels for nothing, because you look at the possibilities of what the price is trying to do. Now, within this structure itself, this is like a 5. And this was where price was when I was telling us that, okay, they may be doing an ending structure here, and they broke this ending structure to the downside. So we doubt that price will break beyond 100. I will doubt that much. Because this an ending structure has been broken. Even this trend line here has also been broken on the 15-minute time frame. So this trend line of this structure of C, which we are seeing now, technically they could end it here, and it doesn't have to be exactly at 100 here, the way I've done it. Technically they could end it here, or still go within this space of how many pips? Let me see. They can still go within the space of these let's say 58 pips. They can still do that before they turn down. But I will tell you what is possible. We are going to look at the larger time frame as well and tell us what is possible. I think this is where they are going to end this structure. So with this as a 5, we might be seeing a 1 and a 2 situation, because when it's forming, you won't see it really. We might be seeing a 1 and a 2 situation. When it's forming at first, you won't see it. And the break of this, like I told you, this particular one, it's when the structure entirely has changed for me. So once you have a break here, you can connect A and a B here. When we have a break here, then the structure has changed and they are coming down. This is where I will know. But for this immediate structure in the middle of a C here, I think it's giving, it's breaking itself already. It's breaking itself. This one has gone up as a 5-way structure, and this one in the middle, of course, could be, you could take this also as an extension here alone without looking at A and a B. This structure, in the immediate structure in itself, is another thing that you can look at when you take this as the beginning of it, which is red, to where the bridge is in the purple, to where the bridge stalled, where we have this A here. So this is a 123 of it, which is has pushed beyond that. So they are extending the structure. They are not exactly using this. They are using A and a B, a bigger A and a B, to finish this structure, and not the immediate structure here. So now, of course, they could also make this one as a 5 of this entire structure here. They could say, okay, this one is a 4 and a 5. If they do that, that they are finishing the structure, even with what I'm seeing here at this moment, it shouldn't even push higher. But again, let's just be wait for their own manipulation and all of that. So price should not even pull beyond 98 800. 98,800. So it shouldn't be pulled beyond that. So now, are we seeing a 1-2 situation here where this one has run like a 5 ways down? Are we seeing a 1-2 situation? Because that is what it's looking like to me, that price gradually is pulling down. They are trying to pull price down. So if we come up here and we do this, this is now live action because we are inside the live of it now. This is still pulling down at 76 now, 76 or 85. That is where the price is even reacting on a 15 minutes now. So we may be seeing the end of the structure here, but once we get to this point, then we know that yes, we have changed this structure, entirely. So I'm going to take this off. I don't need this one anymore. That's broken out of that 15 minutes end structure for me. And even if you look at, let me do something. If you look at, if we're in the wave 5 of it, that's what I'm saying now. If we're inside wave 5 of this, we'll see now. Let me bring out my RSI. So you can see clearly a divergence now. Even though this is like a higher from here, look at this A. See where the RSI is on this A. Even though the price had gone higher, at this point, the RSI is lower. So that's a clear divergence that the price had bumped down, they are coming down. Even now, see what had happened here. And with this 15 minutes, so if you even go inside of 1 hour, let's see if we get the same thing inside of 1 hour, it might still be lagging. Yeah. So inside of 1 hour, you can see, even that the price had made higher high, it's almost equal. So we are in the end of this structure. So, but this is where we can take an advantage to sell. And that's what I'm saying. This is real life situation that I'm probably giving us. It's a real life situation. Forget what we are seeing. Price is coming down. Price is coming down. So we'll just do, even though this is the all-time trend line. So let me just do this. For us to take more advantage once we breach this. So let me just do that. Price Euro USD is breaking down to wave 5, wave 5 of 5. So which will now be the end of the structure. Once that, there will be an alert that tells me that is happening. Yeah, it has come out now. So, but this is the first thing. I don't think I need this one anymore too. That has shown that something is giving way, and I don't need this one also to tell me anything. I think the only thing I might need is, I still need this one to tell me something. If that happens, I will take an advantage of the market up there. Euro USD breaking top at 1 hour. So I'm just telling you what I do and showing you what I do. So if it's going to break that top at 1 hour, I will know. So let me just put it there. If that happens, then I know that I'm still going a bit higher on the 15 minutes time frame. But anything, we are actually at the end of the structure. I want us to come more down, come to this one and look for a pullback to buy on to throw in more that we entered at 98,200 at this level. That's what I gave you. I had one position here and the second position here. So, and it's still playing out quite nicely. Let me go inside of the bigger time frame for you to see what I'm talking about, really. This is live and direct with what we are saying. Now, this is inside of a 2. If you had expected that that would happen inside of this structure now, this is a 1 and a 2 or 5, and we said a 3 or 5 now. So if we had wanted to think that this is a correction of 4 here, you look out for instead of between 3-1 and 3-2, and it's here, it shouldn't do more than here, which is 38, which agrees with this one A here. So because price are pulled beyond here, then we know that that is not what's on the table. So it is not a 4 of here. They have finished a 4 of here with this A here, with the first red move here. They have finished it. That has confirmed that. So now to look at the bigger 2 now, between this 1 and 2, so we try to push this higher to C. So if we push this higher to C, that is a 2 in that place. So now this is a 38, which is correct, and a 50 should be at this pink here. So what I'm trying to say is that ideally, I don't even expect price to break a 50 here. Ideally, I don't expect that to happen. For price to break a 50 here, I don't expect that. So that was why I gave us this as a stop loss. I gave us something here, 98,750. That's why I gave us as a stop loss. You know. So I don't even expect price, but in case they want to shock us, which is most unlikely, once they breach this one, then it is something else that is happening. Once they breach that 98, if price breach 98,680, then something else is happening. So for now, even at that, it only want to correct something, we can still put our stop loss at 99,200, because if that happens and they breach this, then they're still going to have a pullback, and we're going to now exit on that pullback and wait for what they're going to do. So, but for now, this has not seemed to me like an end of the structure. And if you look at the way the price went up, it should be in a 3-wave correction on the 4-hour time frame. Can you see? It's a 3-wave correction on the 4-hour time frame. This is a 1 and a 2 and a 3 that is expected of a correction. And it's a zigzag. At the end of the day, a zigzag. Though it's a zigzag in the middle, and this one is a 5-wave structure, and also this one is a 5-wave structure. We might be seeing the end of it. And this might just be the initial move to the downside, or a bit upper move before we turn to the downside, in case they want to play a YO or a fast one on us. Having said that, that is the end of this video. And of course, we don't expect any 4-hour candle to sit outside of this particular trend line I'm holding here. So that is the end for now.